What's good everyone, yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's here, and today we're here to talk about Soulja Boy. And after seeing his No Jumper interview last week, I was flooded by nostalgia, so it prompted me to want to make a video about him. And in this video today, I wanted to discuss how Soulja Boy changed the rap industry and rap on the internet. It's important to realize that it's less about his actual musical influence, but more so about the digital disruption that happened as a result of him being successful. Digital disruption is a term that refers to the change that occurs when new digital technologies and business models affect the value proposition of existing goods and services. So basically, when new technological advances cause a shift in an industry. A good recent example of this is how the rise of Uber has negatively affected and impacted the taxi industry. And before we go on guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow your boy on all social medias, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. But getting back to Soulja Boy, and everyone has a general idea of how Soulja Boy came up. I don't want to go into too much detail, but he would post his music online on sites like SoundClick and MySpace, which led to him building an online fanbase, which after some time eventually led to Crank Dat going viral across MySpace and YouTube, and by the time he had signed to Interscope, he was already out of here, which by today's standards sounds pretty normal, right? You upload your music on the internet, you build a fanbase, you may sign, and then you blow up from there. But at that time, the idea of labels looking to the internet for popping artists wasn't a thing. This was before Yachty, before Odd Future, before Rocky, before Lil B, before anyone had really come up off the internet, and it was an era where labels dictated who and what became hot. Artists needed to submit EPs, demos, or mixtapes and go through a label in order to get on and have tangible success. However, this is the digital disturbance that Soulja Boy created. Through his success, it caused a massive light bulb moment for the whole music industry that this internet thing, this MySpace website, these social media platforms were real ways to connect with real people and build real fan bases. The plays and statistics actually meant something, and if an artist is popping on the internet, not only can they exist in that virtual world, but that success and buzz can be translated to more traditional measures of success like concert tickets and plaques. But it also created new metrics that labels were using to assess an artist's popularity, like their social media presence or YouTube video views. And because Soulja Boy was really the first artist to make this transition from the internet to huge mainstream success, he was like a blueprint, and he created a path for rappers to blow up off the internet and led to the landscape of hip-hop we are in today, where labels don't even care about that person passing out mixtapes on the street anymore. They want to see your Instagram, your SoundCloud, and your overall internet presence. Soulja also led to a shift in how people made and distributed music. A lot of younger artists you hear coming up today say that they started with a cheap mic in their bedroom using some illegally downloaded program or some variation of that circumstance. And this method to make rap in the era we are today is very much DIY, or at the very least that's how artists generally start out, because everything is so accessible and the internet is your playground to find information. And that was similar for Soulja Boy, who created Crank Dat on FL Studio. And whilst it wasn't just him, part of his influence on the next generations to come was in the form of DIY music, using whatever tools that your circumstances could afford and then giving it straight to your fans. And this goes hand in hand with the point before. It wasn't about recording a demo, handing it out to a label and waiting for the label to decide it was hot and put money behind you to make you a star. It was more about recording a song in your bedroom, uploading it straight to the internet, and then if you had something special, the internet will gravitate towards your music and almost collectively make a statement saying, hey, this guy has something cool, we want to support it. And then the next thing you know, you're buzzing, you're hot, and the labels are at your door. And then there is one final point I want to touch on. What Soulja Boy also used to do was upload his songs to file sharing programs like LimeWire, which was a hella popular program in the mid-2000s that people used to illegally download music. but what he would do was rename his song as a poppin' song of that moment in order to bait people to download that song thinking it was Eminem or Wayne or whoever, but really it was Soulja Boy's song. And we all know what clickbait is today, but back then it was an innovative marketing tactic and it was an ingenious move, and one that would foreshadow what a ton of YouTube artists are doing today. One artist that stands out who has been accused of this was Nav, whose songs mysteriously started popping up online under the name Post Malone. And if you go on YouTube today, there are countless examples of people trying to come up in the same way as Soulja Boy back in the mid 2000s. And although these actions are a bit questionable, I can't help but kinda respect the grind. And that was a quick look at how Soulja Boy impacted the music industry. And going back to that term I used earlier, digital disruption is the key phrase. Soulja completely disrupted the industry and the traditional forms of discovering artists, marketing artists, metrics of success or popularity, but also how artists went about making music, distributing that music, and navigating the industry themselves, because no longer were they going to the labels with their hands out. Now, thanks to the power of the internet, the labels are chasing after them. And that's all from me today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, follow your boy in all social medias, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video.